Yeah, see you later. We consider this a very special place called Cockpit Country, which is regarded as the last remaining wilderness area in Jamaica. We have been occupying here as free people, developing, sustaining our livelihoods, nesting ourselves within the landscape, living with nature. And therefore, we are going to stand resolute in protecting it. The government wants to mine bauxite, which happens to be in Cockpit Country. We have to figure out how we proceed from here as a group.
The people here, all we know is about farming. For people have to eat.
If we stand here and ignore the consequences of bauxite, we have nothing to turn to.
It's not only that mining will destroy the livelihoods of the people, we will have to go. I'm sure Noranda and the government is strategizing.
Prime Minister must hear the people.
We elect a government to protect us. They go in partnership with people who have an interest in destroying us. And they join with the enemy.
If you're gonna destroy our environment, you're gonna destroy what is our bread and butter. How do we stop your bread and butter? How do we slow you down? We must look at this as a united front. We have to think and see who here are the greatest losers overall. Is it gonna be us, or the government, or Noranda?
When people think of Jamaica, they typically think tourism. But there's another huge part of the economy, and that's bauxite mining, which is where aluminum comes from. Mining has been happening here for decades, but it's taken a toll on the land and the people. We're right across the street from a bauxite export facility, and we're here in the community to see what people think about it.
The company over there is a Noranda bauxite. You have a time when the ship come in and they are loading the ship, the dirt come over and it is pollute up the entire place.
Noranda is like a billionaire. They own everywhere. Being that we've been in bauxite for more than 50 years, if the benefit is not laid back to us, it makes no sense.
They're just taking away people land all over the place. I don't know where Jamaica is going, because it's in a bad shape and we are not making money from it. We are losing. On a long-term basis, the whole country been damaged. They are just here to rip off poor people and take over their land.
Here's a lucky young lady planning her vacation to Jamaica. Yes, Jamaica is a perfect vacation spot. But Jamaica now is doubly important to the whole free world, because here has been discovered bauxite, the ore from which aluminum is made.
In 1952, Reynolds Metals sent the first shipment of Jamaican bauxite to the U.S. And by 1957, Jamaica had become the world's leading exporter of bauxite, shipping out roughly 5 million tons each year, creating an economic boom for the small Caribbean island.
More aluminum for the nation's defense, and more aluminum for all your needs. From the vacation land of Jamaica.
Today, the bauxite industry has shrunk to less than 3% of Jamaica's economy, providing less than 5,000 jobs. But the government has budgeted over $100 million to expand the industry through 2023, raising concerns among the Jamaican people and environmentalists. Diana McCauley is the founder of Jamaica Environment Trust, an organization that tracks development projects in Jamaica and their impact on the environment.
Why is bauxite such a big deal here in Jamaica?
It's a big deal from many points of view. It's been an important plank of our economy, but we have never, in the entire years of the industry, paid attention to its impacts, to its costs. When you go into an area to mine, the bauxite is in the bottomlands, and it's bottomlands where also farming takes place. There have been impacts to communities who have had people moved out of the communities to allow the mining to take place. And if you talk to the farmers who've actually got land to farm that has, after bauxite has been mined, they will tell you there's very little it can grow.
How does the bauxite industry in Jamaica impact the health of the folks living in these communities?
Small particles are harmful to respiratory health, from sinusitis to asthma to heart disease, depending on the size of the particles. Who is it that you're going to sacrifice? Which people are the ones that you're going to tell, look, you have to have the poor public health and your livelihoods disrupted and your landscape around you and your families moved out? Who are those people that are so expendable and can be sacrificed?
The three biggest bauxite companies in Jamaica today are the U.S. company Noranda, the Russian company Wendalco, and the Chinese company Jisco, located in St. Elizabeth Parish, one of the most heavily mined regions on the island.
Right now we're driving into Nain to meet a local councilor who represents the residents here who have been complaining about the effects of the bauxite facility. And I can tell you now, as I drive along these roads, I see a whole lot of red dirt. And Jesus, that's a monstrosity.
Councillor Leighton Smith represents 32 districts in St. Elizabeth, all of which are affected by bauxite mining.
I'm seeing a large orange lake, and I see a facility in the distance. What is that?
Facility that they're looking at over there, that is the bauxite company itself. And they take this dirt into the plant, and then they produce it into alumina. So all the waste from through all of their procedure come down here. This lake that you see here in front of you, got miles of it. These are the disposable area. When it dries, the wind blows the dust from off the lake into the community, into the atmosphere. All the chemical that is in it went out with the dust in the area.
We went to the community of Warminster to meet with some of the people who live close to the mud lake.
Pure dust. Roll inside. I'm tired to clean it down and it still come back. So look for all my clothes them and I just enclose them in all them something. See there? Roll it at dust.
You have all of your clothes in the suitcase to protect them?
Yes. You have to protect them inside here. That's how I do my place. Look under here, sir. That's the dust. Pile up the whole of my music. There is nothing I can do to stop the dust.
So this is your tank?
Yes, where a company give it.
The bauxite company gave you this?
Yes, we store water for them pile the tank. So then give you this. It's not. The fruit them is no use, they no sweet nor nothing. It castic dust blow upon it. The acid from the mud lake, burn it up. I don't know where we do with your structure. Me a sick man, a high blood pressure, sharpness. When them dust a blow you out, it kill me.
All of this dust, where is it coming from?
From the mud lake.
The mud lake here?
Yes. The dust went on the top of the house and it go into the gutter when rain fall. It send the water into the gutter, into the tank.
Look at the water here right now, and the circle on the top there. You can see the dust on the water top.
On the top of the water?
On the top of the water right now.
So is this the water that you drink and bathe with?
Yeah, because we don't have any black drum. So we got to use this one.
Show you the condition of our place. You see it there?
Yes, so did wife already sit there. What blow off the mud lake? Monday.
This is just in one day.
Yeah. One day. How long we gonna live in this environment and live in this situation? And then when time the chemical blow now and you come here, you fall out, cut off it, you know. We are living in hell. And as long as the Prime Minister, Mr. Andrew Holness, don't involve in a situation, we're gonna die in it for the rest of our life.
Prime Minister Holness positions himself as a climate leader on the world stage.
We are partnering with others to ensure that our marine environment, on which our socio-economic survival depends, is being sustainably utilized and managed.
But it's not just the tourism areas on the coast that need protecting. Inland, depleted bauxite reserves are pushing the government to move mining operations closer and closer to the most ecologically sensitive part of the island, known as Cockpit Country. Cockpit Country has remained autonomous since formerly enslaved Africans and indigenous people, collectively known as Maroons, fought off the British in the 1700s and kicked their asses, resulting in a peace treaty that preserved their autonomy. Cockpit Country has no emergency services, no hospitals, and no piped-in water. The people who live here continue to live off the land as they have for hundreds of years. But now that autonomy is under threat.
We are grateful to have finalized today the additional documentation that solidifies this mutually beneficial relationship and which provides us with a new mining lease that we expect will sustain our operation here for decades to come.
Excuse me, brother. How you doing? I'm trying to get to a compound. Straight road?
Yeah, it was straight road there. You have to walk up on the road, turn off, so don't turn out, it was straight road.
Okay. My man say, when you see the opportunity to turn, do not turn. Do not turn. Go straight. This his hood. But you know, when he said don't turn, I thought I'm taking it literally. That's Jamaican GPS.
Cockpit Country is represented by a council of 4 Maroon chiefs, the youngest being Chief Richard Curry, who was elected after running on a campaign to protect Cockpit Country from bauxite mining.
From the youths of the Maroon community island-wide, we're in support of no mining in the Cockpit Country.
He lives in the village of Accompong, which was a Maroon stronghold in the fight against the British.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm looking for Chief Richard Curry.
Up in the town. Up in the town. You have to go straight up.
Chief? I don't think he's home right now.
Chief Curry wasn't easy to find, so I just walked around the village looking lost until somebody took pity on me.
Hey, do you know where the chief is?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, man.
Chief, what going?
Yeah, man.
Pleasure. So where are we right now? What is this?
So this is the birth ground of the revolutionary warriors who defeated the British to obtain a treaty in 1738. So these same stones that you're seeing here are those same stones that they will sit on. This tree is over 300 years old and still bears fruit today.
How do you connect this fighting spirit of your ancestors to what it is that you're doing in the fight against bauxite mining?
We've always maintained the culture, maintained the heritage, maintained the land. We've never walked away from the legacy that we knew our ancestors left for us. Mm-hmm. It is us who should lead that stand in defense of the territory, right? These are our lands.
How important is this rain that we're feeling right now to this community?
It's a blessing because right now, everybody tank can get some water, everybody crop can get some water, So when rain does come, it's
Like
always
this.
a blessing.
It's a blessing. This rain is a blessing.
Always a blessing.
The rainfall in the compound is actually a blessing for the entire island. That's because 40% of Jamaica's drinking water comes from cockpit country. And if mining were to take place here, that water source would be at risk.
We're going to meet Susan Koenig of the Windsor Research Center, who's an expert in the ecology of cockpit country. So I guess it would stand to be that someone who studies ecology would need to live in a place where there's a lot of it. And this is such a place. What would the general effects be of bauxite mining in cockpit country?
Everything about cockpit country revolves around the water. We have to worry not just about the water that we see above ground, but we also have to worry about all of the water that's below ground. Water is being held in the soils, and it's slowly percolating through. So even in the dry season, we always have our rivers flowing out of cockpit country. And so when bauxite mining comes in, they scoop out all of the dirt that's accumulated in the lowlands. The rain just pulses right through the system quickly during the rainy season. Which means it's not stored on site to get us through the dry season. So we'll have water when it rains, but that's not when we need our water. We need our water during the dry season when it's not raining. So where we are now is at the headwaters of the Martha Brae River. So this is crystal clear to drink.
Yeah, that's better than Poland Springs.
This water is actually coming all the way from the other side of cockpit country. There's an area called Alberttown, and because we're only 100 meters above sea level here in Windsor, we're actually very low in the aquifer. All of that water has slowly filtered through.
So if mining was a reality in Alberttown, which is far from here, it would affect your water supply all the way here.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Wow.
Over in Alberttown, community leader Hugh Dixon has been active in the fight against bauxite mining for more than 25 years as head of the Southern Trelawney Environmental Agency, an organization dedicated to protecting cockpit country.
This is the eastern side of cockpit country. We are over here, and what you're looking at here is, in yellow, is the boundary of the cockpit country stakeholders group. This came out of a commissioned study commissioned by the government of Jamaica. And the Prime Minister of Jamaica goes into the Parliament on the 21st of November 2017 and says, I will protect cockpit country.
The wait is over. Today, we are announcing the areas to be designated as the boundaries of the cockpit country and the cockpit country protected area.
We jumped. That was it. But that was really this blue line that he selected.
Well, it's kind of funny that that blue line don't match the yellow line.
It doesn't match the yellow line. Here is, in this northeastern corner, an area that is left out. Inside here is Special Mining Lease Area 173.
SML 173.
Well, SML 173, in a sense, you could say bauxite mining is finished in here. So the objective is to move west.
So all of the folks here and this land is under threat by
Is under
bauxite.
threat by bauxite.
When I hear the term special mining lease, that gives me, that says that somebody is leasing the land.
Government is leasing the land to the mining company Noranda. The government of Jamaica is a 51% shareholder with Noranda in a company called Noranda Jamaica Bauxite Partners 2.
If the Jamaican government is majority owner
in a company whose best interest financially is to mine SML 173, you all are in for a hell of a fight.
We are in, friends, a difficult situation. You know, mining is one of the economic drivers of the country. It is. And there are those who would want to shape the government in a narrative that it does not seek to protect the environmental assets of the people. I rubbish that narrative. And it hurts me deeply when people accuse me of that.
So this road we're driving down right now, it pretty much serves as an imaginary line that divides unprotected land from protected land. Over here, it's protected. Behind me, it's unprotected and being threatened by bauxite mining.
So this is the official marker, the monument. It says Cockpit Country Boundary. Do not disturb. Everything on this side, my left foot here, over here, is protected area. This foot is unprotected.
My whole body is unprotected right now.
I'm hedging.
Yeah.
So that guy's house is in the mining area.
His house is threatened. But if that house was sitting on the other side of this pole, he'd be fine.
Right. Got some evidence of protest here. This represents the degree of opposition.
So, an indication of protest, degree of opposition.
Degree of opposition.
These are nice ways to say that some people are pissed off that this monument is here, designating a boundary that they don't want.
They don't want. Full stop.
Further down the government's boundary, we met a woman who lives right on the line that divides the protected area and the unprotected area.
If I am even in the protected zone and over there is not protected, I'm still not in a protected zone because whatever happens over there is going to impact on me over here. No mining should be done here. Yeah, and we are going to fight for it because it's only the foreigners that are going to make money out of it. We are not going to get anything. We are too naive for that. We are too foolish and gullible to get anything out of it. As bauxite has been here for years and been transported to America and all other places, and we never got anything out of it. It is known we are a third world country. And anything that first world people touch, we don't get nothing out of it. We don't have anybody to protect us. It's a terrible feeling.
Right now, we're on our way to the community of Retreat. It's on the front lines, right within the border of SML 173. And we've been told that heavy mining equipment is being moved closer and closer to the sovereign territory of Cockpit Country. Good morning, brother. Hey, you know Mr. Pinnock? Mr. Pinnock?
Yes.
Yeah, that's down for the forward there, sir. Down there?
Yeah. Okay.
Let me show you the music video. No, documentary about bauxite.
Yeah, man, I'm tell you, it's the bauxite company. I'll be a judgment, yo. Right now, we don't do one of people around here. Right now, I pay those we have up on the top gate right now. You see it? Yeah. Those are mash up the whole district right now.
What's your name, brother?
Car fire. Check-ins. Car fire to the world. Most natural. Honorable.
Mr. Pinnock is a local business owner who lives deep inside the contested SML 173. He can already see signs of mining from his house. Where's the border of SML 173?
Well, I was told that's where they're mining at the moment. That's where the line is. That's where the border is. It's over there. You see the dust?
Oh, yeah.
They come inside here to test the soil. Just down the bottom there. So that means if they drill it and test it, I don't know what they're going to do next.
What do you think the community will do if they do decide to mine in SML 173?
This one won't be nice. Because where are we going to go to? We're going to have to start life all over again. We need some help, man. We need the government to put his foot down and say, look, it's affecting my people.
We need help. We need help.
Maroon Chief Richard Curry drove all the way from Accompong to meet with the residents who live inside SML 173 and hear their concerns.
How long have you now been witnessing the mining coming into your territory?
So if they do the testing inside here, that means they're going to mine in here.
So your land is at threat right now, as we speak?
Everything is in here and threat to what me see.
How do you access the site?
You see that place that burned down there? Just below it.
Just below it?
Yes.
Okay.
Below it.
Would you mind accompanying us to show us?
Yeah, man, I'm going to drive my car and you come behind.
So all these homes that we're looking at here right now are under threat of mining. It's important that we come over here to see what's happening and to understand what's really taking place.
We just arrived at the border of 172 and SML 173. And this is where the dust was coming from that Mr. Pinnock was talking about. And if you look over this way, you can see this heavy equipment moving closer and closer to the sacred ground and territory of Cockpit Country.
If you look right on the edge of that hill right there, you can see that that's somebody's farm. If you look, you can see banana trees in the top right there. You see cows. This is a farming community. People are being displaced.
Do you all think Prime Minister Holness understands the seriousness of what's happening here?
I don't think he understands what is going on here. Otherwise, probably he would be here because it's a serious thing.
There's a gentleman walking around pouring rum on everyone's hands out of respect for the ancestors and what they fought for the freedoms and to live on this land.
M or maroon. We saw two massive craters over that mountain just now that have been totally excavated. And there's a trail heading west, and this is heading directly towards the cockpits. As bearer of 1738 treaty with responsibility for the cockpits, it is my responsibility to attend to the voices of the people. So I'm here on the premise of what is happening in terms of mining. You well are aware of the contention around the cockpit country. The voices will come, so we just come for look. We just want to wake up the ancestors, pay them some tribute right now. Someone knock it and knock it like you never knock it before, you understand? Aye. The cockpit country is Maroon territory. The treaty was signed in blood. The people will defend what's theirs. Money comes and money goes. This we only have once. We have to preserve it. We have to take care of it. We have to take a stand.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce Prime Minister Andrew Holness of Jamaica.
In an effort to get a definitive answer on the fate of SML 173, we reached out to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who declined our interview request, as did 3 other administration officials. But we tracked down Howard Mitchell, the former head of the Jamaica Bauxite Institute. which is a branch of the government that oversees the industry.
Between 2010 and 2016, I was chairman of the Jamaica Bauxite Institute.
What were some of the most significant benefits that came out of bauxite mining?
You could see and feel the money in the mining communities in the heyday, okay? The cars, the houses, and there was promise, but the question is whether the disadvantages outweigh the benefits. The philosophical position of successive governments weakens them as an advocate for the people because their dependency on the tax take. When you do not have cash flow, when you don't have revenue, it causes you to make decisions which are short term. And we created devastated communities and dislocated families and towns.
Do you feel that the Jamaican government is addicted to bauxite mining?
We are being carried along by the momentum of history. You are taking out something that we can't replace. You're removing our soil, which is the heart and soul of a country. We are now extracting our own blood in order to pay our bills.
This is my grandfather.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hubert Isaac Dixon.
Yeah. My mother is here. My grandmother is over there.
This place seems to be very symbolic in that the ancestors are looking out on the very land that you're trying to protect.
Yeah, you're protecting a lineage that's far longer than my own existence. And for me, it just feels normal and natural to come and make that link.
When you're amongst the ancestors and you think of all that they've been through, believe you, it gives you more than strength to fight. When you know you have ancestors like we do, these people are coming right out of Maroons. These were the runaways. Warriors, we're the ones who burned the plantations. Don't play with us. It's a pact with the ancestors. We are still here because of them. We live in peace if you leave us with our land. You don't leave us with our land, we're not going to live in peace. It's as simple as that.
Should the mining companies violate the sovereignty, what do you intend to do?
We don't plan to just sit back and watch external parties violate and intrude on our lands, right? So we don't intend to sit around and watch that happen. What are we gonna do? Maybe I can say that on camera.
We have to call upon our ancestors to give us back the strength to do what they have done in the past.
Our ancestor has shed his blood for us to live happy and free on this land. I don't think no man can value the cost of blood.
So we say no to mining, we mean no.
We don't want any mining in our cockpit. We need to preserve our cockpit.
It's not guns, spears, knives, and all-out bloody war. It doesn't mean it's not a war. The right of their land, the right of their sovereignty, the right of their freedom, it's all bottled up and tied up into this one single act of encroachment.
Three weeks after we left Jamaica, the government announced it was making 23 square miles of SML 173 unavailable for mining. But the government didn't specify which parts they took off the table or if the mining lease has actually been amended. Naranda was promised an additional mining lease elsewhere on the island as compensation. And all of SML 173 remains unprotected by the government's boundary, making it difficult to see these changes as a compromise. let alone a victory.